All right, welcome back to another episode of Casey Campbell's Videocast. Casey Campbell here with Great Lakes Post. Now being joined by Rocco Milla of Brother Ice Football after a big win against Warren De La Salle this week. And why not? Let's just get another big rival to play this week. And it doesn't get any bigger than Catholic Central. That'll be coming up this Saturday. Hey, Rocco, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Well, first off, before we get to this week's game, let's just talk about last week. Big win against De La Salle. What a battle it was.
Yeah.
And take me through that, man.
Yeah. So the game started kind of south for us. They busted a huge 60-yard run on the second play of the game, which in my mind it hurt because mentally when a team scores that quick, it shuts down. It shuts us down, and everyone kind of thinks that the game's over. And then, of course, we fumble first possession on offense. They get a field goal, so they're up 9-0, I think, in the first 2 minutes, which is definitely not something that we wanted to happen and not the way we wanted to start the game. But the game went on, and I'm really proud of my teammates and coaches for not giving up, and we just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. Went up 13-9 after the third quarter, and then unlucky pick six. The ball was tipped twice and went right in the hands of a De La Salle player, and he took it back. So now we're down 16-13. Fourth quarter's winding down, and luckily our kicker nails the field goal with 10 seconds left in the game, send it into overtime. We're all banged up. We have cramps all over the place and injuries, and we kept fighting and fighting. And luckily we got a extra point block in the second overtime, scored on 4th and goal. And on the final play, the snap, I was the holder of the snap, was low and hit the ground a couple of times. So I just took off and ran, and it worked out. So very, very tough game, but I'm very proud of my team.
Yeah, always good to come out in the win in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to that last play. Was it just, what was going through your mind on that?
Gosh, it was wild. I don't even remember thinking or anything. When it happened, I just picked it up, and it was almost like instinct. I just picked it up and I ran, and as soon as I got around their defensive end, I knew I was into the end zone, and I reached the ball out, and it was one of the greatest moments of my life for sure, and the victory, the feeling of victory after such a tough game was just incredible. So,
yeah. One more question for you before I get into the CC stuff. This season is unlike any other. Unless you've been living under a rock, there's been a lot of changes to this, how we do business here. How have you adjusted to all
that? I mean, over the summer, it was pretty tough to adjust. We were, following all the guidelines and trying to play football in the safest way possible. And luckily, we're all used to it now. We're used to wearing our masks, and we're used to putting on hand sanitizer and keeping our distance. But I think it was a huge blessing when they switched the season back on, and I think everyone that plays high school football can agree with that statement. But I mean, we're back at it. Life still isn't normal. Football feels normal, though. We're missing some fans, but I know people are watching at home, and we got live streams going, and yeah, it feels good to be back. So
yeah,
it's better than nothing.
That is true. It's better than nothing. Okay, so let's get into this big matchup. Catholic Central's coming to town. We all know we don't need to know how big big it is when these two teams get together. And I don't think I need to remind you that Brother Rice has not beaten CC in a while. I think since
Yeah.
2014, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I don't you. Why do you think that is?
That's a good question. I really don't know. The past 2 years that I've played against them on the varsity level. Last year, brutal weather, pouring
Oh, I
rain,
was there for
freezing.
that.
Yeah,
I
it was
remember that. I think yeah, it was awful.
yeah,
No, the thing is, 2 years after before that, it was like 90 degrees.
yeah, and yeah, I remember that when I was a freshman. I remember going to the game.
Yeah.
I was not on the team yet, but I remember going to the game and just watching the two teams battle and very tough ending for us as they completed like a 70-yard pass with a minute left, and then another touchdown pass with 45 seconds left. I still remember it. It's not one of my fondest memories, but
Marco throwing it
yeah,
to Mike. I think it was Mike Harding who got
yeah,
it.
yep.
Oh,
And sophomore year, they whooped us. We didn't score.
yeah.
Last year, we didn't score a touchdown. Hopefully that changes this year, and I definitely think it will. So
Do you think you guys have? I mean, both teams won. Obvious CCB Harper Woods, and we
mhm.
all know what you guys did. Do you feel like you have the confidence to get that win? Because Coach K has not beaten CC since he took over
Mhm.
Brother Rice, and he took over the same year that Dan Anderson did.
Mhm. I'm very confident that we're going to beat them this weekend. But again, it's one of the biggest rivalry games. You never know what's going to happen. Both teams are going to pull out their plays, and you never know. So I'm excited, and we're not going to take them lightly at all. We're working hard this week. We're staying healthy, and we're pumped. So
Yeah. I know the last thing you want to do is talk about yourself, but I'm going to ask you about the PO, the preferred walk-on you got from Michigan. How exciting was it to get that?
oh, it was great. He actually the coach that it was Coach Kasula. He's an assistant wide receivers coach there, but he told me he watched my film back in March and has been kind of following me ever since. Which I didn't know because he didn't reach out until right after the De La Salle game. He reached out to me on Twitter and asked me to call him the next day, and I called him. I didn't really know what to expect. And it was great for my family too. My dad actually played at Michigan, which is pretty cool. But he made sure to tell me that it wasn't because of my dad; it was because of my ability, which made me feel pretty good. But yeah, it was awesome. It was a great feeling. So
How many offers do you have?
10 right now.
Okay. Um, I know that you are going to have a big decision to make. Are you
Mm-hmm.
confident that you're going to? When do you think you may make that? And obviously, it's probably going to be after the season, but when do you think you may make that?
I'm really not sure. I'm kind of taking my time, staying patient. But yeah, I'm gonna get my senior film out to all these coaches and see if any other schools bite, um, and see what happens. But yeah, it could be it could be in the rear view end of the season, or it could be after the season. I'm not really sure. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's an exciting process, and I'm enjoying it. So
Yeah. Rocco Milla, thank you so much for coming on and luck this week against those Shamrocks.
thank you, sir. Appreciate it.